Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Now that we've got both the MCU's Fantastic Four reboot and the DCU's Superman film out in the wild, I think it's time to answer the big crossover question no one's asking, but probably should. Who wins in a fight? The Fantastic Four or the Justice Gang? That's Marvel's first family, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm, versus DC's newest team of meta heavy hitters, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and the Green Lantern Guy Gardner. As always, spoilers ahead for both the Fantastic Four and Superman 2025 movies. You've been warned. Now let's break it down team by team. Alright, first up, the Fantastic Four. In the 2025 movie, Marvel plays it fairly close to their classic forms and personalities. You've got Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, the brains of the team. In this version, he's smart enough to invent an FTL drive using wormholes through higher dimensions all the way in the 60s. He's also no slouch in the tactical department, as he comes up with their strategies to defeat Galactus and evade the Silver Surfer at the Neutron Star. Then there's the Invisible Woman, aka Sue Storm. She's low-key the strongest on the team. She not only turns invisible, but creates force fields that can ragdoll the Surfer and stagger Galactus, albeit the latter would require enough exertion to kill her. There's also the Human Torch, aka Johnny Storm. He's brash, flashy, dangerous, and surprisingly more mature and intelligent than most iterations I've seen. Johnny has the best speed showings as he can keep pace with the Surfer, and he also showed other creative uses of his abilities like absorbing fire from the environment to extinguish them. And finally, the Thing, aka Ben Grimm, the tank of the team. He dons the classic rock form, albeit I kinda wish he was bigger in size, closer to the MCU Hulk. You know, for a potential future fight between the two. Regardless, he's strong enough to pull a ship to shore and can throw 16-wheelers like softballs. His durability should scale to his attack potency, as all his feats are done through physical exertion. Now, the best way to get concrete numbers is to scale the group together and address which members excel in each category. That said, early consensus on how powerful are the Fantastic Four is split because of varying interpretations of some feats and statements from the movie. Let's tackle attack potency first. There are some who have the Four, the Surfer, and Galactus all planetary or higher. This stems from the Neutron Star being taken to be a black hole, and the Surfer being capable of surviving being sucked into the Singularity. Galactus should be upscaled from that as he eats planets, and we see he's casually able to restrain the Surfer with his telekinesis. Others have them all higher, as Galactus could be scaled up to Universal, as he mentions Franklin has infinite power and should be his successor. The director also mentioned that he survived 2 Big Bangs, so the group being capable of staggering or momentarily stunning him in the finale, they could all be scaled well above planetary. To continue my mantra of being the lowball guy, I believe a lot of these interpretations are poorly substantiated or kinda reaching, at least at the moment. To tackle the Galactus of it all, him being planetary to star level because he eats planets is a bit of a reach. His ship destroys the planets and he feeds off the remains. We don't know if he can exert some or all of the internal potential energy of the planet. We also don't even know how efficient he is at metabolizing the planet matter. Reed even mentioned studying him to assess this. To provide an analogy, it'd be like assuming that you or I are city level because we ate a sandwich, and E equals mc squared on the sandwich comes out to a couple quintillion joules. Also, Galactus saying that Franklin has the power cosmic and infinite power, then saying that he could inherit his power doesn't mean Galactus has infinite power. Yes, they both have the power cosmic, but so does the Surfer, and she's clearly weaker than Galactus. And if the comics are anything to be inspired by, Franklin is to Galactus what Galactus is to the Surfer. We're also unaware of how he survived the 2 Big Bangs. Did he retreat to a higher dimension using a wormhole during them? Did he tank them? Or did his ship tank them while he was inside? It's currently not clear, and just proclaiming that he has universal level durability is a bit too much in my opinion. Finally, the Neutron Star / Black Hole. It's identified by Reed and the director as a neutron star, but in the movie it shows some stereotypical black hole features, like an accretion disk, and increasing gravitational pull closer to its surface. However, while not common, neutron stars can have accretion disks by stealing matter from a sibling star in a binary pair. Also, all bodies exert more gravitational force the closer to them one gets. It's just that it's more pronounced when it's a body with a large mass and low radius. both of which a neutron star is, so I think it's apt to take the celestial object to be a neutron star and not a black hole. Following that, the surfer is capable of surviving on the surface of the star, and that feat comes out in the city level ranges. You can get better numbers by using the kinetic energy of the surfer, as she can survive collisions while moving at relativistic speeds. That should put her firmly in the mountain level ranges. Similarly, Galactus can be upscaled by being stronger than the surfer, and concrete baseline numbers can be gotten from his kinetic energy as well. He's capable of swinging his arms at relativistic speeds, nearly intercepting Johnny and the surfer. Because of how large he is, this weighs in at the large country to continental level ranges, depending on how dense you think he is. Now, moving on to speed. They should all have relativistic reaction speeds at bare minimum, as they're all capable of perceiving and at times intercepting the surfer. The potential MFTL scaling I've seen isn't substantiated, as it's shown that their FTL travel is done via the use of wormholes. It's made explicitly clear when they open the wormhole while traveling at 88% the speed of light to escape the neutron star and get home. So overall, Sue's the strongest and can reach continental levels of power at the cost of her life. Johnny can reach relativistic speeds, Ben can exert up to mountain levels of energy, and Reed can survive being Stretch Armstronged by Galactus. Now let's look at the Justice Gang, DCU's proto-Justice League, introduced in the Superman movie. They're currently a group of corpo heroes working under the banner of Maxwell Lord. The team consists of Mr. Terrific. He's one of the smartest people in the DCU so far. He could assess and reverse engineer the pocket universe and portals Lex made. He's also handy in combat using his T-spheres, which can act like projectiles, discharge electric attacks on contact, and erect barriers to shield himself or allies. There's Hawkgirl. Almost like the Avatar cycle, she's part of a reincarnation chain that includes a Thanagarian warrior. She's shown to be skilled with the mace and possesses superhuman strength and durability, shown when she knocked away Metallo in the prequel novel. Her signature trait being her wings, which she uses to add an aerial dimension to her combat. Next, there's Guy Gardner. He's a typical hothead of the group, but incredibly capable. He's shown creative enough to make multiple constructs like a muzzle, jackhammer, or the signature FU in combat. His ring also provides him with flight and increased durability. And finally, Metamorpho. He's the newest member of the group, as he joined by the end of the Superman movie. He can transmute his body into any known elemental substance, be it solid, liquid, or gas. Similar to the Fantastic Four, the group can be largely scaled together as they're all somewhat relative. So in regard to AP, the group should roughly scale to Metamorpho's feat of creating a miniature sun. The energy required for this feat puts him in the small country ranges. The rest of the group scales somewhat to him by measure of being able to fight alongside a slightly kryptonite weakened Superman against Metallo. And this same Superman scales above Metamorpho. For those wondering about the planetary scaling for Green Lanterns, I addressed that in my previous video, shameless plug. But TLDR, the scaling comes from a movie which Gunn didn't write or direct, and the movie's canonicity is up for debate at the moment. Similarly for speed, the gang should be massively hypersonic, and are capable of traveling across the globe, from the US to somewhere vaguely in the Middle East to quell the invasion of Jahanpur in minutes. They could possibly reach somewhat relativistic speeds from scaling to Metamorpho. He was somewhat able to resist the gravitational pull of the black hole in Luthor's pocket universe. So for the versus battles, I'll split it into 3 rounds. The first will be a set of one-on-ones. The second will be a team battle where they can aid each other and perform combo moves. The third round is a bonus round, and will be like the second but using the high-end scaling for both teams. So for round 1, the matchups will be Johnny vs Hawkgirl, Reed vs Mr. Terrific, Sue vs Guy, and Ben vs Metamorpho. Johnny should be too fast for Hawkgirl, and should win by being able to fight at range with his fire blasts. Point to the Fantastic Four. While a contest of brains will be interesting to see between Reed and Mr. Terrific, when it comes to straight hands, Mr. Terrific is clearly superior. He could attack Reed while defending himself using the T-sphere shields. Point to the Justice Gang. A contest between Sue and Guy would be interesting, as Sue could make use of her invisibility to sneak attack Guy and create diversions to escape his attacks. That said, Guy can make use of a variety of constructs to counterattack, plus his durability provided by the ring would allow him to survive much of what Sue can throw at him, while Sue would constantly have to have her shields up as she's physically not that durable. Overall, I think if she got bloodlusted, Sue could overpower Guy, so point to the Fantastic Four. Finally, Ben vs Metamorpho, the battle of the tanks for both groups. Unfortunately, Ben is largely outclassed here. Even equalizing power between the two, Metamorpho's ability to become gaseous or liquid allows him to evade Ben's punches, and he can counter by attacking Ben with giant hammers, or even internally with poison gas. Point to the Justice Gang. So in all, this round comes out to a draw with 2 points for each team. Who would have guessed? In a team battle, the group synergy and combo moves provide the pathway to victory, even if the individual members are weaker. You know, the sum of the parts being greater than the whole and stuff. The Fantastic Four have a large repertoire of teamwork showings against their opponents. Things like Sue amping Johnny's fire blasts, or turning group members invisible to create diversions, Johnny propelling Ben like a cannonball, or the group all working together to subdue Gargantua. The Justice Gang, on the other hand, while they can competently work alongside each other, like when they fought against the Kaiju or Metallo, don't have a vast array of team attacks. The only notable one is the 3 original members adding to Superman's Super Breath attack against Metallo. In general, this round favors the Fantastic Four. Strategies like Sue cloaking Johnny to sneak attack Mr. Terrific, as he's the least durable of the Justice Gang, or disarming Hawkgirl of her mace could significantly cripple the Justice Gang, leading to a Fantastic Four victory. That said, if the Justice Gang manage to take out Sue early, it's a definite dub for them as she's the linchpin of her team. Screw my scaling of the characters. Let's grant the Fantastic Four the Planetary plus AP scaling of Galactus, and MFTL scaling from the Surfer, and let's grant the Justice Gang the Blue Beetle's Planetary AP scaling, and the Supergirl Red Sun MFTL speed scaling. Then like round 2, let's run the teams against each other. Not much changes in the matchups between Johnny and Hawkgirl, Reed and Mr. Terrific, or Ben and Metamorpho, but Sue becomes more of an MVP for the Fantastic Four. This is because the Galactus scaling can go up to Universal because he survived 2 big bangs. While she never actually damages him with her force fields, she does somewhat scale to him to be able to overwhelm him and shove him through the portal. With that, she should be easily capable of overpowering Guy and basically soloing the rest of the Justice Gang. So that's how I see it. Fantastic Four versus the Justice Gang. A surprisingly close match between 2 brand new cinematic super teams. While my scaling for both teams seems low right now, future movies and TV shows will undoubtedly provide them with better feats. I can see the Lantern show upscaling Guy and the entire Justice Gang, whereas Sue and the other Fantastic Four will interact with 616 high tiers like Wanda or Sentry in Avengers Doomsday, and certainly get good feats. What do you think? Did I underrate Reed, overhype Metamorpho? Let me know in the comments. I'll be diving into the replies and responding to all the non-troll takes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dive character battles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.